The army that went to Makkah was 10,000. And very important to see what was the effect of Sulh Hudaybiyah. In Hudaybiyah, as we know, there were only 1,400 or so people who went the first time they went for Umrah, as a result of which the Sulh Hudaybiyah happened. But between that time, in a period of a little less than 2 years, there were 10,000 people who were able to go in the army which was going to Makkah. So Islam spread very, very fast after Hudaybiyah. Because of the cessation of hostilities, non-Muslims were able to see the life of ordinary Muslims up close. Now this is the thing that I keep on saying over and over again, reminding myself and you, that Islam spreads by the practice of Muslims. Not by talks and lectures and bayans and khutbahs and so on. All of this, of course, has to be done. One has to give a khutbah and one must speak, but that is not how Islam spread. Islam does not spread by arguments. Islam does not spread by debates. Islam does not spread. There is, incidentally, to the best of my knowledge, there is not a single incident where Rasulullah ﷺ ever had a debate with anybody. There is no incident, to the best of my knowledge, where the Sahaba, especially the major, the Akabirin of the Sahaba, ever had, Abu Bakr, Omar, or whoever, radiallahu anhum, where they ever had a debate or an argument with anybody about Islam. No incident. There's no incident even of the Sahaba stopping people in the street and presenting Islam. Now, not to say that if somebody is doing that, it is haram. It is not haram, alhamdulillah. One can present Islam, one should present Islam. But I'm saying that if we go strictly by what the Prophet ﷺ did and Sahaba did, they did not do dawah in this way. Their dawah was all and all their own behavior, their own conduct, their own akhlaq, the way they treated people, how they treated each other and how they treated other people. People were impressed with that. People were impressed with that. The other day somebody sent me a story in America. They said that there's this lady who wrote this thing on Facebook that their car broke. They went to Disney and they're coming out, their car broke down. So they had to call for a tow truck, and there was this tow truck which came and the truck was towing them on the highway. And this lady said that I noticed that the truck driver kept looking in the rear view mirror many times. So she phoned him and she asked him, is there any problem? So he said, no, I'm just looking to see if the sun is setting, because I have something to do when the sun sets. And then as the sun set, she said he pulled over on the grass verge and he said to the lady, he said, give me 5 minutes, I have to pray. And he pulled out a prayer mat from under his seat, and he said that he prayed on the grass verge. These people were watching, and she said, I have never seen something so amazing and so moving in my entire life. Now all the man did was he prayed. He did not give her dawah, he did not tell her accept Islam, nothing. All he did was his own salah. But that is so impressive. And there are many such instances. I know 2 or 3 myself, where people entered Islam only because they had a Muslim roommate. There's a friend of mine, also American. She accepted Islam because she had a Malaysian roommate. So I said to her, did this lady ever talk to you about Islam? She said, no. And then what happened? He said, I used to watch her pray. That's it. She would pray, she would make her salah in the room. And just watching her praying, this other woman entered Islam. Ajib nahi? There is a power in the obedience of Allah. There is a power in the sunnah of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is divine, this is from Allah. This is not something which can be explained, it's not something which may even make sense, it's not even logical, it is beyond logic. It is the khudrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That when a Muslim looks like a Muslim, when he walks and talks like a Muslim, when he behaves like a Muslim, That is the biggest dawah. That is the most powerful dawah. I remember Colonel Amiruddin Sahib Rahmatullah Alayhi used to tell us a story. They were in Jamaat somewhere in Russia and it was winter. And they were going on the street and some police came and they asked for papers, whatnot. I don't know, in their language they spoke something, these people spoke something. Net result was that they locked them up. I said, we got stuck, we were in prison in the night, there's no heating, it's bitterly cold in Russia, there's snow and ice everywhere, and there's no heating in the prison, and they were in a bad state. So he said, the Amir of the Jamaat, he said, make dhikr and let us make salah. We ask the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now these guards are watching these people, they're watching them praying. So Cardinal Amiruddin Sahib says the first thing which happened was that he said in that cold when we started making salah, he said we started sweating. He said our bodies got heated to the extent that we started sweating. And then he said the guards came and they opened the door and they said go. Right? Why he said go? I mean, they didn't have enough language to explain why. Just go. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does things. I mean, I'm not sitting here, talking about karamat, but I'm just saying that this is the power. Unfortunately, we have got so disconnected that we don't understand the power of our own religion. And obviously, then because we walk around fearfully and because we are apologetic about our religion, we don't see the power of it at all because we don't show it anywhere. But if we don't do that, if we have confidence, alhamdulillah, I'm not talking about arrogance, I'm saying confidence in our religion. And if we present the religion in the way of the Anbiya, which was by practice. There are two cardinal principles of Dawah of every Nabi. The first cardinal principle of the Dawah of the Nabi was the Nabi practiced the religion. No Nabi ever told anyone to do something that he did not do. No Nabi. No Nabi. The Anbiya practiced the religion. They lived their message. They didn't say, you should pray. And what about me? No, I am beyond prayer. No. Every Nabi practiced the religion, number one. Number two, no Nabi ever took money or any form of remuneration for the dawah of his religion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the witness of this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed 8 or 9 ayat in the Quran to say this. That my Anbiya do not ask remuneration from you. No Nabi took a salary, no Nabi took a fee, no Nabi took a donation, no Nabi took anything for the preaching or for the teaching of the religion. No Nabi. These are the two cardinal principles and that is what puts power in the dawah. When you do it with ikhlas purely for the pleasure of Allah, and you do it by practice, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens doors. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens the hearts of people. But when you make money out of religion, this is the worst. This is the worst form of corruption. Wallahi, may Allah protect us all from this. It is better to keep your mouth shut and do nothing rather than take money for the sake of preaching. Just not the other day, yesterday, somebody phoned me from one of the trustees of the masjid in Australia, and he said that they are looking for a qari for Ramadan, and they said there is this man who's asking for $10,000 to read Tarawih. Can we give it? I said, you cannot even give $10. Forget $10,000. I said, what you may give as a gift because the person is reading Tarawih, you feel like giving something, that's entirely up to you. Somebody wants to give a gift, you give a gift. But if the man asks for it, if he is negotiating for it, then I said, according to me, I am not making a fatwa, but I will not pray behind an imam who has negotiated and who takes money to read Quran. I said, I do not consider my salah to be valid behind such an imam. I will not pray. I will not pray behind that imam. Simple as that. If he is, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned this as one of the signs of the Day of Judgment. He said one of the signs is that people will recite Quran and it will not go below their throats. And he said one of the signs is that people will recite Quran in order to make money. It's a very, very sad situation that today we don't see this as something wrong. This is completely and totally wrong. Very, very, very wrong. And I don't care how many people give fatwa to say that this is permitted. There is no fatwa beyond the fatwa of the Quran al-Kareem. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, my Anbiya do not take money. My Anbiya do not ask for ajr from you. And therefore the principle of Dawah, which puts power into the Dawah, which opens the doors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's khudrat, which opens the treasures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which gives you this kalam, is these two principles. Live the message and do not take money for the work of Dawah. Inshallah, as long as we do these two things, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us in ways that we cannot even imagine. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala most of all to be pleased with that work, because at the end of the day, no matter what we do, if it does not please Allah, then it has no value. No matter how many people accept Islam at your hands, it doesn't matter if your work has no ikhlas. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not accept that work, a million people may have accepted Islam at your hands, but that will do you no good. And that's why it's very, very important for us to ensure that we have ikhlas and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased. And we will only know that the day we die, believe me. If somebody says or somebody believes that he knows today that Allah is pleased with his work, then he is from shaitan. He is sitting in the lap of shaitan, nothing else. Nobody can know that. I cannot know it, you cannot know it. Only at the time when we are dying, we will know whether Allah accepted this or not. And that's why we do our best with ikhlas. We continue to make tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from the faults of what we do. And we ask for His forgiveness. Insha'Allah, we ask Allah to forgive us and we ask Allah to be pleased with us. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyil kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.